Two teenage girls have admitted attacking a pal who was stabbed and left her for dead to please fictional character Slender Man. Anissa, Weier, 15, pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree homicide as a party to a crime with use of a deadly weapon, while Morgan Geyser has pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree murder. Anissa Weier, one of the two teenage girls who tried to murder a friend after stabbing her 19 times. Who is the Slender Man? The Slender Man, also known as Slenderman, was created as an internet meme through the Something Awful forums in 2009. Depicted as a very tall, very thin, faceless man in a black suit, he was developed through a thread on the forum which asked users to edit everyday photographs to appear paranormal. An entry into the competition from Victor Serge, real name Eric Knudsen, consisted of two black and white images of groups of children. He had added a tall, thin figure wearing a black suit to the photos and named his character the Slender Man. Due to the addition of text, the photographs became a work of fiction and others expanded on the character and his story. Knudsen's intention was to formulate something whose motivations can barely be comprehended, and which caused unease and terror in a general population. His creation soon went viral as fan art, and online fiction on creepypasta followed on. The character, which is sometimes said to have long tentacle-like arms to capture prey, stalks children and, depending on interpretations, can cause memory loss, insomnia and paranoia. A fictional picture of the character Slender Man. The teenage girls said they wanted to be his followers. What is the Slender Man case? The reach of the Slender Man had become so far that in 2014 the character was heavily linked to the stabbing of a 12-year-old girl, Peyton Leutner. She had been lured to the woods near her home in Wisconsin, U.S., stabbed 19 times and left for dead. The reason for the attack by Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser, both now 15, was to prove the existence of the Slender Man. They told police they wanted to prove their loyalty to him and become his followers. The two girls believed he was real and said they stabbed their classmate to protect their families from harm. They said they believed the only way to become a follower of the character was to murder someone. After this, they claimed they thought they would be his servants and in his mansion. Peyton survived the attack and managed to crawl out of the woods, where she was found by a cyclist with stab wounds to her chest, abdomen and arms. Weier and Geyser were caught walking into the woods after the attack, in the hope of meeting the Slender Man. Peyton Leutner survived the attack. Who are Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser, and why did they attack Peyton Leutner? Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser were charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide after they attacked Peyton Leutner. All three girls were 12 at the time. In August 2017, Weier pleaded guilty to a charge of attempted second-degree homicide due to mental illness or defect. Then in September, Weier was found not guilty because she was mentally ill at the time of the attack. In December 2017, Weier was sentenced to be committed to a psychiatric hospital for 25 years. Morgan Geyser, the second teenager due to stand trial for the attempted murder of a classmate in October. Geyser, now 15, pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree murder. The plea was part of an agreement which saw Geyser enter the plea and then for the judge to find her not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, meaning she was ultimately not be held responsible for the attack. Grandad floored man suspected of knifing woman then wrapped him in cling film. UK gets its iconic blue passport back in stunning Brexit victory for the Sun. Randy couple stun passengers by romping on top deck of Busboy 2, run over and killed accidentally by his dad outside family chippy plane carrying 25 people comes off the runway at Bristol sparking major delays. Boozy darts fan slides down tube escalator. And it goes very wrong. Speaking to CNN, Geyser's attorney said it's a confusing thing to describe because clearly she committed an offense, but the law doesn't treat her as responsible for that crime because of her mental illness. He then added, "It just seemed like there was very little to fight over at the end. We were all sort of at a point where she clearly had played a role in the offense, and on the other hand was clearly mentally deficient, such that I really thought cooler heads ought to prevail and the parties ought to get together and reach this agreement."